My name is Tina. I am 33 years old. I live in a small town near Pune with my husband Manav and our 2 children, 1 son and 1 daughter. From outside, our family looks happy and normal. We have a small house with a balcony full of plants. Every morning, the smell of chai fills the kitchen. Neighbors smile at us and think we have a perfect life. But the truth inside our home is very different. Manav and I have been married for 8 years, yet slowly our marriage became cold and silent. We live together, but emotionally we are very far apart. We do not laugh together anymore. We do not sit and talk like husband and wife. Most of our conversations are only about bills, school fees, groceries, or work stress. At night, we sleep on the same bed, but it feels like there is a wall between us. Sometimes I look at Manav and wonder where our love disappeared. I still remember the early days of our marriage. We used to go for evening walks together after dinner. During festivals, we decorated the house together and took silly pictures. On rainy days, we shared hot chai and pakoras while sitting near the balcony window. Back then, I felt loved. Now our house feels emotionally empty. Manav works very hard in a private company. He leaves early every morning and often comes home late at night, tired and frustrated. I understand that life is difficult and work pressure can change people. But somewhere along the way, we stopped understanding each other. I felt invisible inside my own marriage. Sometimes I tried talking to him about my feelings, but every time he only said, "I'm tired, Tina. We'll talk later." That later never came. Slowly, loneliness started growing inside me. I wanted someone to ask me how I was feeling, someone who would notice my sadness, someone who would make me feel alive again. I knew searching for happiness outside marriage was wrong. Deep inside, I knew I was walking toward danger. But emotional loneliness can break even strong people. One evening, after finishing some shopping at the market, I stopped at a small cafe near the bus stand. Light rain was falling outside. Old Bollywood songs were playing softly inside the cafe. I sat alone with a cup of coffee. That was when I noticed him. His name was Jay. He was sitting near the corner reading a book quietly. He looked calm and gentle. After some time, our eyes met, and we smiled politely. Soon, we started talking. I don't even remember who spoke first, but the conversation felt easy, natural, and warm. Jay listened carefully to everything I said. Nobody had listened to me like that in years. For the first time in a very long time, I felt seen. Before leaving, Jay asked for my number. For a few seconds, I hesitated. Then I gave it to him. The next day, he called me. After that, we started talking regularly. At first, it felt innocent. Just conversations. Just friendship. But slowly, the emotional connection became deeper. We started meeting at cafes, parks, and quiet places where nobody knew us. Jay remembered small things about me. He asked if I had eaten lunch. He noticed when I looked sad. He made me laugh again. And slowly, my heart started depending on him. I knew this relationship was wrong. Every night I told myself to stop. But every morning, I waited for his messages again. Soon, I started living 2 different lives. One life was at home with Manav, silent, cold, and emotionally empty. The second life was with Jay, warm, exciting, and full of emotions. Whenever I was with Jay, I forgot my sadness for some time. We became very close emotionally. Sometimes he held my hand while we walked near the lake. Sometimes we sat quietly for hours, talking about dreams, childhood memories, and life. He made me feel important again. But we always had to stay careful.
We only met when Manav was busy or traveling for work. We used hidden names while texting each other. Sometimes I deleted chats immediately because fear never left my mind completely. One day, Manav had to travel to Delhi for office work for 2 days. At the same time, our children had gone to stay at their nanny's house because of school holidays. For the first time in months, I was completely alone at home. That evening, I called Jay. "Come over," I said softly. Within an hour, he arrived. The house felt warm and alive again. We talked, laughed, watched movies, and forgot the world outside for some time. I remember thinking, why can't life always feel like this? Hours passed quickly. Then suddenly, knock, knock. Someone was at the front door. My heart stopped instantly. Jay looked at me with fear. I walked slowly toward the window and looked outside. It was Manav. He had returned home early. Panic rushed through my body. My hands started shaking badly. "Go inside the bedroom now," I whispered quickly to Jay. He hurried inside and quietly shut the door. I fixed my hair, adjusted my clothes, and tried to calm my breathing. Then I opened the front door. Manav stood there with tired eyes and a serious face. Without smiling, he walked inside. The air suddenly felt heavy. "Why are you still awake so late?" he asked coldly. "I was watching a movie," I lied nervously. He looked around the room slowly. Then his eyes stopped near the bedroom door. My heartbeat became faster. I quickly started asking him questions about his trip to distract him. But I could feel his suspicion growing. Suddenly, he began checking the rooms. He looked near the balcony. He checked the kitchen. He even opened cupboards. I felt like I would faint at any moment. Then finally, he walked into the kitchen to drink water. If you want to watch part 2 and know what happens next, comment, "I want part 2. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and share for more emotional English stories. That was Jay's chance. The bedroom door opened slowly. Jay quietly slipped outside through the back door and disappeared into the dark street. The danger was gone. But the fear stayed inside me. That entire night, I could not sleep. The next morning, I kept thinking, did Manav suspect something? Would Jay ever speak to me again? Hours later, my phone finally rang. It was Jay. His voice sounded different. Scared. "Tina," he said softly. "Last night, we were almost caught. This relationship has become too dangerous." I stayed silent. Then he continued, "I'm sorry, but we need to end this." My chest felt heavy. My hands became cold. I slowly sat on the floor while tears rolled down my face. Before Jay came into my life, I was lonely. But after losing him, I felt even more broken than before. That night, I could not sleep at all. I kept remembering Manav's suspicious eyes. I kept remembering Jay running away silently through the back door. For the first time, I truly understood how dangerous secret relationships can become. I looked toward the next room, where Manav was sleeping quietly. We lived under the same roof, but emotionally, we were strangers. Our marriage had not broken in one single moment. It had broken slowly, silently, over many years. And now, I finally realized something painful. No secret love can heal a broken marriage. Only honesty can. The next morning, I stood near the balcony, watching the sunrise quietly. For the first time in years, I stopped running away from the truth. I knew my marriage could not continue like this anymore. I needed to face reality honestly. Not for Jay, not even for Manav, but for myself. Because living with lies destroys the heart slowly. And deep inside, I was already tired of pretending to be happy.
Get to like, subscribe, comment, share, and share for more emotional English stories.